On May 30th, 2018, two brand new Pokemon games were unveiled at a Japanese press conference. Those games being Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and immediately longtime Pokemon fans were disappointed. This Pokemon game should have been a major accomplishment, but instead, no matter what Pokemon Let's Go video on YouTube you look at, tons of fans are complaining about this game, which is something I found really weird, considering the fact that almost every Pokemon game out there, even the bad ones, have been somewhat hyped on or at least before release. But something's off about this game, and I'm going to be looking at some of the most popular complaints about this game and giving my opinions on what could be one of the most controversial Pokemon games. Now, one of the most common arguments is the game is too easy. Now, if I was ranking these arguments today on which ones are talked about the most, this would be it. So many people are saying how laughably easy this game looks, and to be honest, they're right. Now, this is understandable, seeing as this game is heavily influenced by Pokemon Go. Gone are the days where you had to search through grass for wild Pokemon. And while personally I don't mind that feature, in my opinion, the only reason you had to search for Pokemon in grass anyways was because of the system limitations at the time. None of Nintendo's prior handheld systems could handle so many Pokemon on the screen at the same time. But the thing that has gotten everyone mad is the removal of wild Pokemon battles, and I completely agree with them. Pokemon battles were a staple in the Pokemon series. I'd argue that wild Pokemon battles is one of the biggest things that made Pokemon, well, Pokemon. Now clearly it's obvious why they did this. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are heavily inspired by Pokemon Go. So it makes sense that if they were to try making a Pokemon Go experience on the Switch, that they would remove wild Pokemon battles. I'm not saying I agree with this decision, but it makes sense why they have taken this route. Now this is where the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee made its first mistake. It tried to be something that it wasn't. This is not a mainline Pokemon game, it's a spin-off. If anything, this is a sequel to Pokemon Go. But that's not what the game was advertised as, or at least that wasn't made clear upon the game's announcement. Now personally, I don't mind this game being similar to Pokemon Go. In fact, I enjoyed Pokemon Go, but Pokemon Go never tried to be something it wasn't. It was made very clear from the very first Pokemon Go trailer that it would be a spin-off Pokemon game. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee just haven't made that very clear. This is another common argument about this game. That being that what you are doing has been done before, that being Pokemon players have already played through Kanto, not to mention, this game is very similar, at least from what has been shown so far, to Pokemon Yellow. Not to mention, only the original 151 Pokemon will be in this game. I don't really mind this too much. I kind of think we've been having a lot of Pokemon in the games lately, and maybe it'll be good to give the developers some time to develop new Pokemon with cool designs. Out of all the Pokemon arguments to be made, I think this is the only one I don't agree with. While I agree, having to play through Kanto again could become tedious, however, the developers themselves have said this game would be different from the original Kanto games. So until the games come out, we'll have no idea how good the story is. Do you remember the days back when EA wouldn't charge you just to be able to breathe in their games? Yeah, neither do I, and I feel like this problem is beginning to plague Nintendo, especially with Pokemon. It was announced at E3 in June that Mew, a mythical Pokemon, would only be obtainable if you purchased the $50 Pokeball Plus accessory. Many people are taking offense to this, claiming it's wrong to lock Pokemon behind a paywall, and I totally agree with them. One of the biggest points that Pokemon even exists is because the creator of the Pokemon franchise loved to go outside and catch bugs. For a game that so heavily encourages players to catch them all, it doesn't really make sense that you have to spend an extra $50 to even own all 151 Pokemon. Now I know I've been putting down on this game a lot now, and I do want to make it clear that in general I am excited to play this. I personally enjoyed Pokemon Go, and I think the graphics in this game look really good. I just wanted to bring to light a couple of the problems that this game has. Some of them can even be fixed. Plenty of games out there have had rocky launches, but thanks to developers learning from their mistakes, any game can be fixed. And that's about all for this video. Let me know what you are excited for in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.